Hi, so this is a very quick video. It's an answer to a question that I got on the course that I run, and one of the delegates asked me about when should their virtual assistants be working. So what hours should they actually get them to work? Should they work at the same time as the UK hours, or should they work their own hours? And what follows is my answer, which I gave as a bit of a bonus to the course delegates. So I hope it's helpful for you guys, and please feel free to get in touch if you've got any more questions about it. Cheers. When is the best time for your Filipino worker to actually work? And my Filipino workers work when they want to work. So what I mean by that is I don't ask them to necessarily work UK hours. I don't feel the need to, because they're about 6 hours ahead, and that means that right now it's 11 o'clock in the morning roughly here, which means it's just coming up to the end of their day, say 5 o'clock. Often they work till say 6 o'clock as a typical day. So that gives you up until 12 AM to be able to converse with them as much as you need to without them having to work unsociable hours. Sometimes they want to. So I've got one worker, Lanessa, and she actually likes working overnight. And so then she actually starts work at 6 AM. So she's working from 6 till 6 our time. Well, not quite 12 hours, but as much as she wants to within that sort of time frame. So that works for her. However, I would say that if you force somebody to work overnight, or even if they do work overnight, you've got to ask yourself, what are they doing during the day? And if they've got another job, and therefore they're just sort of doing a double shift, then they're going to be knackered by the time they start working for you. Or if they're doing looking after kids or whatever it is, then you've got to think, what is the quality of the work going to be like? And you can only get that through testing. But if you notice attention to detail isn't great, or you notice that things are taking a bit longer than expected, and they're working on what is in effect a night shift for them, so working in the daytime for you, then maybe you should be asking yourself and asking your employee, is actually that the best time for them to work? So that's one point that we discussed. The other one is, what I really like about working sort of offset hours, if you like, is that when they start work at typically, say, 2 o'clock in the morning UK time, which means that before I wake up, they've done 3-4 hours work at least before I sort of get onto the computer. And that means that it's added time to my day, so they can continue the work from the previous day at a time where I'm sleeping. So therefore stuff's getting done when I'm not around. And because if they do work normal hours, and I desperately need them to work an extra couple of hours that day, then they normally can extend it. People can normally extend it as long as you compensate them for that. So you can normally actually get quite a decent working day with an overlap if needed, but take advantage of that time difference and extend your actual productivity of your company by up to 6 hours. So in summary, don't be afraid for your workers not to be working at the same time as you. Very, very few tasks need you to be involved more than a couple of hours a day. And if they are, then you're not delegating effectively. So you should be able to delegate work out with enough instruction that unless it's a complicated task that you're actually struggling to delegate yourself because you don't really know how to do it, you should be able to give instructions such that somebody doesn't need to keep on coming back to you. And if you're not, then actually think about how you're delegating and look at the system and blame the system, not the employee. And take advantage of the fact that they work at different hours. So that's it. It's only a quick post. But yeah, hope that's helpful. Cheers.